Hello and welcome back to a video again on CVD. This time we're talking about CVD exhaustion. Again, another one of my favorite setups that I love to use regularly on NQ, Bitcoin, any of the futures markets. I love using a CVD exhaustion. It's a very powerful tool for identifying trend reversals in the market. So in this video, I want to cover what CVD exhaustion actually means and how to go about and using it. So let's get started. Okay, so the definition of exhaustion. Exhaustion is when less buyers are willing to buy at new highs or when less sellers are willing to sell at new lows, represented by the delta. Okay, very self-explanatory explanation here. It just means the move is getting exhausted. There is less buyers willing to buy the highs and less sellers willing to sell at the lows. Very easy explanation of what exhaustion is. Especially when you see explosive moves in one direction, at some point in the move at key levels, you are going to see some form of exhaustion. It doesn't always happen, but you do see it on most occasions, and a heads up that a reversal is on the cards. So let me show you how it looks from a price and a CVD perspective and how to go about and identifying it. Okay, so you can see here, this is how we identify exhaustion. Very simple. In an uptrend, the price is made a high and a high. Okay, so a high and a higher high. CVD has made a high and a lower high. So CVD should have followed the price, but it hasn't. It's made a lower high. We've got a divergence. This is an exhaustion for an uptrend. It just means in the CVD there's a lack of delta. There's a lack of delta here to drive this price. Even though the price is moving higher, there's a lack of interest at this price point and we're getting a divergence. Opposite for the downtrend, we've got a low and a lower low, and on the CVD we've got a low and a higher low. So this is how it looks from a price and a CVD perspective and how you identify it on a chart. Now I want to show you what it looks like on a footprint chart, how I identify it and how you can use it as a very powerful tool. Okay, so this is a chart of ATAS. This is the software platform that I use for my footprint. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick example of how to use CVD exhaustion for a potential long setup here. Okay, so this green box that I have identified, for example, for illustration purposes, we will call this a demand zone. So first of all, very important, guys, is you will see exhaustion. Like I said in the other video about absorption, you will see exhaustion at random levels on the chart. Does not mean it's going to play out every single time. However, you need to first identify a key level, and that could be a key level that, you know, the way you trade. I trade differently to the way you trade. Okay, so whatever key level you have, it could be, you know, a Fibonacci, it could be a trend line, it could be a supply zone, demand zone. It could be based off volume profile. You get the gist, right? So it needs to be from a key level that you have your trading style. So this, for me, in this example, would be a demand zone. Okay, this green box is a demand zone. The price is coming into it. We make, as you can see, this white line. We make a lower low here on the price. Okay, so we have a massive downtrend, so a massive sell-off, and over here I can see price getting exhausted. Okay, so what do we see here? We see a lower high on the price and a higher high on the CVD. So what happens? The price gets here, but the CVD is not following, and what happens is we get a beautiful reversal, and that is actually like catching that was the low of this particular day, and that just moves, you know, massively to the upside. All right, so if you caught that, and this is how we get monster setups, guys. This is how we get those big risk to reward setups, is when you're able to identify this kind of stuff to get you those precise entries, and your risk to reward is going to be hugely improved if you're able to use this kind of stuff to identify potential trade entries. All right, now I want to show you what it looks like for a potential short setup. All right, so we have a identified supply zone here, this red box, and we have a higher high on price. You can see we've made a massive move to the upside here, guys. Massive move to the upside. We've put in a high, we've come down, we've put in another high into this supply zone. Okay, so this supply zone is a key level of mine. We put in a higher high on the price, and look at the CVD, a massive lower high here. So this is a heads up that my supply zone into my supply zone, the price is putting in a lower low on the CVD. There is a possible exhaustion here. All right, and as you can see, we sell off. It's not a huge sell off, it's not full reversal, it's a 50-60 point rejection, which is still a great trade setup, whichever direction you take it. Okay, a 50-point setup is a really good setup, because my particular trading style, I have 15-20 point stop losses. So if I can get 45-50 points out of a move, that is still a 2-to-1 for the risk to reward profile. Okay, so that would be still a great short setup here for me. All right, I would be taking this if I saw it on the CVD. So that is an example of a possible short setup that we could possibly have on the market. All right, guys, so I hope you got something from the video. This is a basic level CVD exhaustion, how to identify it. Go back, have a look, identify the key levels, see if you see any form of exhaustion. If you see it, that is a great heads up. You can go ahead and back test this. It works out very well, especially at key levels. You get nice trade setups. But most importantly, guys, what I want you to take from this lesson is the fact that you will see it many times, and even you will see it at key levels. All right, that is just one of the things I use. Okay, exhaustion is one of the things I use. I also look for other things like trapped shorts at the highs, or trapped longs trapped longs at the highs, or trapped shorts at the lows. I'll be covering this in more detail in further footprint videos, but this is a starting point of some of the tools that I use to identify my potential setups in the market. This is why I'm able to get those sniper precise entries, by having a workflow, by having key identified levels before market open, and then I use some of these footprint tools to help me execute trades. Okay, but the key thing to remember is you will see exhaustion on many different places. Okay, on the chart. Do not mean you go ahead and take a trade. All right, there is a lot more that goes into it. I'll be covering that in future lessons. All right, so if you learned anything from this lesson, guys, hit that thumbs up. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for watching, guys. Peace.